All right, let's jump right in. What do you think a giant corporation has in common with a simple balloon? I know it sounds like a weird riddle, right? But the answer is actually a really powerful idea that helps us make sense of, well, pretty much everything. And that's the difference between open and closed systems. We're going to break it all down. So let's really think about this for a second. A company, your own body, a balloon. I mean, they couldn't seem more different, could they? But hang on, because when we figure out what ties them together, it reveals this fundamental truth about how the world really works. Okay, so to get our heads around this, let's start with the ideal scenario. The perfect, clean, simple version of the idea. We'll call this a closed system.
So what is a closed system, really? Well, the easiest way to think about it is like a perfect bubble. It's totally sealed off from everything outside of it. It is 100% self-sufficient. Nothing gets in, no energy, no new stuff. And absolutely nothing gets out. No waste, no byproducts. It's basically a theoretical, self-contained little universe. Here's a classic example to really paint a picture. Just imagine a jar, sealed completely shut with some water inside, right? The water evaporates, turns into vapor, then it condenses on the sides and turns back into water. It's this perfect self-sustaining loop where nothing new is ever added and nothing is ever lost. That is the essence of a closed system.
Okay, but here's the catch, and this is a really important one. Our source material points out that these perfect, self-contained systems, they're mostly just an idea, an idealized concept. They're super useful for science and models, but good luck trying to find a true closed system out there in the real world. It's almost impossible. So, if closed systems are the theory, what's the reality? Well, that brings us to the other side of the coin, open systems. This is how things actually work. And yeah, an open system is pretty much the exact opposite. It's defined by its constant back and forth with the world around it. It's dynamic, it's often messy, and it's always exchanging stuff. We're talking energy, information, resources, you name it. And this isn't just a nice feature. For an open system, it's a matter of survival.
And trust me, once you know what to look for, you start seeing open systems absolutely everywhere. A company, it needs customers and suppliers. Your body, it needs food, water, and air. An ecosystem needs sunlight and rain. And yeah, even that balloon we talked about at the start, it's an open system, constantly interacting with the air pressure around it. You start to realize, wow, everything is connected.
All right, so let's put these two ideas side by side to make it super clear. On one hand, you've got the theory, and on the other, you've got reality.
And here it is, the closed system. That's our clean, simple model. It's isolated, it's self-contained. Then you have the open system. That's the messy, dynamic, real world. It's constantly exchanging, adapting, and interacting. One is a really useful idea for a lab, but the other one, that's the world we all live in.
Okay, so we've got the definitions down. Closed, open. But you might be wondering, why does this even matter? Well, this is where the whole concept goes from being an abstract theory to a seriously practical tool. This quote right here really nails it. This isn't just for a science class. Take business, for example. If you try to run a company like a closed system, it's a total recipe for disaster. A business that ignores its customers, its competitors, the economy, that business isn't going to be around for long. It just can't exist in a vacuum. When you get right down to it, this whole open versus closed thing is a powerful lens for looking at the world. It teaches us a really universal lesson. From the tiniest cell to the biggest corporation, survival, and especially thriving, it all depends on being open. It depends on your ability to interact, to adapt, and to respond to what's going on around you. Because isolation, well, that just leads to stagnation. So, I want to leave you with a question to chew on. Now that you have this lens, think about your own life. What system, maybe it's your job, a team you're part of, heck, even a friendship, is way more open than you've been treating it? Because realizing that connection, really seeing it for what it is, that could change everything.